Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. It has been a little while. So I hope you're able to join me today. We're going to talk about all things money, budget, finance, credit card points, the usual. We also normally talk about the number one movie. So let's do that first because it was a really fun one this week. And the number one movie was Project Hail Mary. Um, it's rare that I get a chance to see a movie the weekend that it opens, but this one I did see, and I would recommend it. I came out of it and I was like, I would recommend this to families. I would recommend this to couples. I would recommend this to groups of guys. I would recommend it to groups of girls. I would recommend to take like a parent. So, yeah. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Oftentimes, what you guys ask to talk about in the chat is the topic that we end up talking about for the day. Um, I'm going to share throughout this live where we are with paying off my house, and why I'm not paying it off early. And um, yeah, probably some 401k stuff, credit card point stuff, but also any topics that you would like to talk about. So just let me know in the chat. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen so that we can actually look at how much Project Hail Mary grossed. And I'm the worst sometimes. I had told my coworker, I was like, "Oh yeah, I like space movies. I saw Interstellar," and I was like, "I saw the one, it was orange, it was like Interstellar, but took place on Mars." And he was like, "Do you maybe mean The Martian?" I did. And Project Hail Mary is by the same person that did The Martian, so that's kind of cool. Okay. Think. All right, and of course, I have been missing, well, not miss, I haven't streamed in the last 2 weeks. That's because last week was the Oscars, and we can talk about that in a second if you'd like. And the week before that, I just, why was I called into work the week before that? Oh, no, the week before that was the time change, which always messes me up. And I just, after such a late night at work, it essentially was like I got home at 4:30 in the morning and like I just couldn't get up to do the live. Okay. So Project Hail Mary grossed $80 million, dollars, almost $81 million. Dollars. And of course, the Sunday numbers are still estimated. But what's not crazy, but what is interesting to me is that oh, I just totally lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to I'm trying to, there we go. Okay. I really just lost it. Project Hail Mary, almost $81 million. I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. Anyway, the number two movie is Hoppers. I've also seen that one, which is rare for me. Then Durandar, The Revenge, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Number 5 is Reminders of Him. Number 6 is Scream 7. Number 7 is Goat. Number 8 is Undertone. Then Wuthering Heights, then Avatar, Fire and Ash. Okay. What was I going to say about Project Hail Mary? I don't know, but it was really good. And maybe just that I really recommend it to everyone, which is a little bit rare. Okay. Yes. Gas prices are insane. So, let's pin this comment. And one of the things that like scares me the most in life is kind of the possibility of war, and I don't like it. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I just think it's terrible anytime that that happens. But Joel says, "Gas prices are insane. Do you know what I've done to help with that? Call car insurance and tell them I don't drive much. I only drive 9K miles a year. Drive less, your premium will go down, and it's a savings." Yes, that is a great tip. So, you can almost shop around anything that you're paying for. Like, maybe not like your Hulu subscription or something like that, maybe not like streaming services, but if you're paying for car insurance, you can shop that around. You can shop around health insurance. You don't have to get the health insurance that's offered through your company. And even within your company, they're often going to offer different plans or different tiers of health insurance. So you can shop around your health insurance, car insurance. I mean, you can shop around where you're going to go get your gas. You can shop around everything. If you have a credit card where you pay an annual fee, you can often call and ask them to lower the fee. If you have the type of checking account that you pay for, um you can get that reduced. Sorry guys, I'm distracted by like this eye. What does that mean? I feel like as I'm getting older, like this eye is more closed than this eye, and it's like distracting to me. I see it getting worse. Anyway, whatever. Sorry. Also, health is wealth. So shop your medical insurance too. Um, you can shop even my medical insurance, there's, like, a portion that gets covered and a portion that's not. You can shop around if you need physical therapy, what your co-payment's gonna be sometimes. Sometimes you can just ask for a lower price, like, there really are ways to do that. So, yeah, calling your car insurance, telling them that you don't drive as much. You guys are gonna be like, "Shelly, what are you doing?" I think that I'm still carrying comp and collision on my car. And basically, because my car is still old, I probably just need liability insurance on it. So that's something that I need to call and do. Okay. Alex says, let's talk about that. How to navigate high gas cost. For me, I only drive when I really need it. And I take my bike around town. That is a great way. And it's good for your health and the weather. You guys, in California, it is so hot. Hi, Levon. And then Joel says, you have friends that still drive for Uber and they say they're working for free. Like Uber isn't even helping out a tiny bit. Scum company, glad I quit and became a mechanic. Yeah. Um, Joel, actually, I have an actual question for you. I should take it. I think we've done this before. There's like this part on my car. It's like it's on the top of the car and it's on both sides and it runs along. There's like a groove in the car on the roof. And in the groove on the roof is like this piece of rubber and it's cracking and it's peeling. And like one piece is like literally like flopping down and it's like in my passenger door. The question that I have is it seems to be covering some sort of like metal wire, but like a thick metal wire. Like, where does it go? It seems to go all the way somewhere. I'm not explaining this well. Do I need that or can I just yank it off the car? Like, what purpose is that serving? If it were just the rubber, I would think it was some sort of seal and I would think I could rip it off. But because there's like this little wire underneath it and it runs all along both sides of the car and it's all ripped. Anyway, do I need that or can I rip it off? Because it's bothering me because it's all cracked and broken. Um, Anyway, I almost, like, made, like, just a short video just to be like, "What is this?" Okay, so other tips about gas. There's an app called Gas Buddy. Do I still have it? And that's gonna tell you everywhere where gas is cheapest near you. My grandma used to drive, like, an extra several miles just to get cheaper gas. Now you have to be careful about that because, like, if you're driving more. But this is like it's a free app. I'm reinstalling it because I already kind of know where the cheapest gas stations in my neighborhood are. Hi, Richard. Um, and I go to those ones. So a lot of times it's gonna be like an AM/PM. It's gonna be like a Valero. It's gonna be something like a Dinosaur gas. So you definitely, though, want to go where it's more affordable. Like, sometimes there can be like a 20 cent, 30 cent, 40 cent. Sometimes up to a $2 difference on how much you're gonna pay for gas. There's one gas station near me, and it's, like, so much higher than all the others, and I have no idea why. Cindy says, "How are your California elections going? Is voter ID big there? Indiana, our race to watch is Secretary of State, in your opinion." So, there's a lot of, like There's not a actually, I was gonna say there's a lot of ads, but there's not a lot of ads. I feel like it hasn't started to really, like, gear up and take off. I should look into some of that. I've been so busy at work, you guys, that I'm not up. I mean, like, I know about the gas prices because I'm driving to and from work. And gas is definitely it's almost over $6 again here in California, which is a bummer. Um, but yeah, okay, so I recommend an app called Gas Buddy where it's a free app and you're just gonna type in like the area you're in. It apparently works for the United States and Canada, and that's gonna tell you like where the cheapest is. Oh, like this little wire. Cover it anyhow, I suppose. Exposed wires can be bad. Okay, thank you for the advice. What if I just rip it off? Okay. Oh, do I have to sign up? No, sign in with Facebook. I've probably signed in before. It should tell me that. It's making me sign into Gas Buddy. I don't love that. But I am trying to sign in. Error. App not active. What? Okay, maybe I don't recommend this. I don't like signing up. What? Okay. I'm not signing up for the whole app right now, but there are other apps that should help you find like where gas is cheapest in your area. So use that. Then this is going to be one of my biggest gas saving tips. And you guys know that right now Richard's walking everywhere. That is great. And I'm really lucky. Like, I am able to walk to, like, there's a grocery store, there's some restaurants. That's not to say that I do that. And certainly I don't do it as much as I should, but I definitely have that ability. Cindy says in Indiana, gas is 3.79 and climbing. And I know that that's really high for Indiana, as far as I know, right? Um, California, we're almost over $6. I wanna say I paid 5.69 the last time I pumped gas. Fine, so research your best gas stations. Um, it's often not gonna be like a Chevron, a Mobil, a Shell. It's probably not gonna be or Mobil. It's probably not gonna be any of those. It's probably gonna be like a smaller chain. And I'm gonna say, right, I've always heard that ARCO, AMPM, um, that that people don't like their gas, that they think it's not as good as, like, Chevron or whatever, and I can't speak to that, but what I can say is I have almost exclusively been an ARCO girly since I was 18, because gas is normally cheaper at an ARCO than at one of the, like, bigger named gas stations. And all of my cars have lasted 13 plus years. My last car had 300,000 miles on it. I'm not driving as much, I live closer to my job now. So, my car now only has about 140,000 miles on it, but it's a 2013. So, my car's almost 13 years old, and I'm just doing the Arco gas. Okay, so let's see here. Cindy says gas is high, but we don't have as high of taxes. The state is talking about marking I-70 a toll road due to electric and fuel efficient cars. That's interesting. I kind of think that electric cars are going out of favor now. There doesn't seem to be as big of a push. So I don't quite know what's going on with that. Then I hate a toll road. As a driver, I hate them. I know that you can just get, like, a device that you put in your windshield, and maybe that would work, but, like, if you ever visit a town that you're not familiar with, if you ever have accidentally gotten in a toll lane that you didn't mean to, it's just so frustrating, and it takes money. Like, how here's why I'm curious about. How much money is it going to cost to convert it to a toll road, to, like, manufacture the clickers that people are gonna put in their car, set up the website for people to pay on the toll road, install whatever cameras are needed, repaint all the lines on the freeway or whatever? Because usually they don't make the whole thing a toll road, but they could. Um, so how much to do all of that? And then how long to even, like, recover the price, like, and then how much to repair. I just don't know. That would not be my first choice. Um, but I don't know what would in terms of like generating more revenue for the state. So I don't know. Um, Back to gas. The other thing I'm going to recommend is never paying for gas with a credit card. Most credit cards are going to charge like 20, not most credit cards. Most gas stations seem to charge somewhere between 10 cents and 20 cents more a gallon if you're going to put gas on a credit card. So I always try and put gas on a credit card. I try not to put that, sorry, said that completely wrong. I try not to put gas on a credit card. I try to only pay cash for gas. So pay cash, walk more, ride your bike more. I used to live bike riding distance from my job, and I don't anymore. Also, I don't think I've ridden my bike in years, so it's probably like kind of rusty. All right, Andrew drives a little bit of a nicer car. Your car in particular has a V6. You drive 80 miles a week, so it's low mileage, but still outrageous gas prices. I'm worried about the economy, groceries, and all will also go up. Yeah, I think there's some concerning things happening. Um, I think people are at their max. Okay, Cindy says I-70 is a major road and they want to upgrade from a 2-lane to a 3-lane. So that's going to be really expensive too. Like that all comes with a cost. Like it doesn't just happen overnight. And like maybe they'll recoup that cost in 6 months. I'm sure there's a timeline. I'm sure that your government has done like studies on why it would be beneficial, but it's not free and it's not going to pay for itself instantly. I don't know what the time frame is. It could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be 2 years, it could be 5 years. I don't know, but that's what I'm curious. I'm always curious what the actual cost to get something done is and then how long is it going to take to recover the cost. I also think that's partially why I'm good with money because I think about those kinds of things. Speaking of good with money, I know this is odd timing because we're talking about times being tough, but I am making progress on paying off my house. I still have not, I still have the money in a savings account, the exact same amount of money as I have for I have the exact same amount of money in savings as I do that I would need to pay off the house. Okay, so this did I not take the new pictures? Okay, hold on. Okay. 4-1. I just made the one for 4-1. Okay, so this is the payment that oh yeah, this is it. Okay. So I already made this payment. I now owe a total of $7,941.40 on my mortgage. I just made this payment, so I paid $18.20 in interest. But oh no, that's the next month's. Oh no. Okay, that's what I just paid. Okay. That's not the right number. Is it? Okay. Oh, that's the new balance. So here's how I'm doing it. So I paid $18 in interest to my make a sentence. I paid $18 in interest on my mortgage, but I got paid $20.12 on my high yield savings account. So I'm making like an extra dollar a month by not paying off the house early. And we're down to like the last 7,000. So this is the amount. So what I'm doing is every time after I make a house payment, I lower the amount in my high yield savings account to equal the amount of the new house payment. And I do that on the same day. And then I'm seeing how much interest I get from the high yield savings account versus how much I'm paying um, on my mortgage. Does that make sense? Anyway, and I guess I'm actually down to okay, this is not the house payment. This is the I now owe $7,087.57. Okay. So we're getting that paid off. I'm getting like $1 extra in interest by not paying off the house early, which I know is not a lot, but like it'll be like an extra $24, which for my car, I have a little tiny gas tank. So for me, that's like half a tank of gas or more, depending on how much gas is. Oh, there was something that I wanted to look up today and now I forgot. I was like, I want to look that up when I'm online. Okay, so the tips are don't go to a major gas station and well, I guess Arco is a major gas station, but go to like one of the smaller gas stations, shop your gas prices and don't put it on credit. Richard's saying again, I know a lot of people are like, I would pay the mortgage off full regardless of everything else. And I think at this point, it's probably silly of me not to pay it off because like I have the money to pay it off. And like it's probably not worth the dollar, but I thought it would be an interesting experiment. And yeah, I'm wanting that. I know it's only $1 a month, a little over $1, but I want that interest. I want every dollar that I can get. Also, there's some things that happen when you pay off your house, like I'll need to take over my escrow account and paying for homeowners insurance and all of that myself right now. My escrow account does that for me, and so I'm not anxious to do that. Do you guys want to talk at all about the Oscars last weekend? That is sometimes when there's like really stressful stuff going on, I like to talk about all the fun stuff like the Oscars. We did a big old party at my job. We did not call it the Oscar party, but we called it Hollywood's Big Night Celebration. And we put up like a lot of decorations. That's a cardboard guy. He's just a little cardboard guy. There's me next to it. I do not know why I'm standing like that. I shared some of those pictures online. That's me and one of my assistants. I don't know if he'd approve of me sharing a picture with him. Oh, I have to see something. I went to UPS to return an Amazon package. You know that that's one of the number one things that I think people need to do is make sure that you're returning your packages. If you get something, we all get stuff off Amazon now for the most part. If you get something on Amazon and it is not what you expected, return it. But then actually go and make sure that you're returning it. Um don't let it sit there until you can't get it. But I took a return and I think it still says, oh good. Whew, return complete. So this little return $12.06. But you know what? That's $12.06 that I did not just want sitting there. This thing was not at all what we expected. Anyway, I went to UPS. UPS warned me that Amazon has like not been processing refunds properly. So they were really like, make sure to hold on to this confirmation. And I returned two things to Amazon. And when I got in my car, the first thing and the more expensive thing said the refund was processing, but the second thing said it wasn't. So also like monitor your accounts, make sure that everything is being refunded as expected. Okay. Richard says, pay the we're gonna Richard says, I'm glad Michael B. Jordan won. Everybody was. And that was probably my favorite movie of last year was Sinners. I mean, he played twins, Smoke and Stack, and that movie was a lot of fun. And it's about vampires, which are my favorite monster. So yeah, you guys, today my mom and I are going to go play bingo. We haven't done that in a while, so I'm wearing an Irish shirt, a green Irish shirt, plus it was just St. Patrick's Day, so the luck of the Irish hopefully will rub off on me today. Ooh, Alex said, I've been dating this really cute guy lately, and that has been relieving my stress from these tough times. That is awesome. Congratulations. And how is your car, Alex? Are you loving it? Your car's good on gas. I bet you're real I bet you're grateful for having that car right now. My goodness. Poor Andrew. V6. I think I've told this story before, but at one point, I do look at, like, things that you should do to, like, level up your life, and there was a point where I thought my car looked beat up, right? And sometimes I was parking in our corporate office, I was giving rides to people from corporate, like, picking them up, taking them to the airport or whatever, and I had a 1997 Mitsubishi Mirage that didn't look great and was really high miles, but it ran well. And I got it in my head, now this was in my 20s, right? I don't think this anymore, but I got it in my head that I needed to present like a more professional image with the car I was driving. I think I was looking at the other cars in the lot and I was like, maybe I should get the type of car that these other cars are parked in the lot, keeping up with the Joneses. And I was looking at a BMW, and one of the things a used BMW, I should also say, and the lowest model. But still, I was looking at a BMW. Now, I had no business doing that, but I had it in my mind that I wanted to project a more professional image with my car. This makes no sense. But, that's what I was thinking back then, and I'm so glad that I didn't do that. But that was my thought, and we can all change, right? We can all make better financial decisions, so that is one thing. But what really steered me away from getting that car is it said that you needed to put in premium gas, and it said and premium gas is, like, too much money. I always just put in the lowest grade of gas too, so there's another tip on saving money on gas, unless your car calls for it, right? Like, Andrew, I think your car says to use, like there's 80 what is it, 87, 89, and 91. Some cars say to only use a certain type of gas. I do think if your car says to use premium gas, I think you should use premium gas. That's my opinion. I mean, that's the manufacturer's opinion, and so I'm gonna side with the manufacturer. I'm gonna assume that they know their cars best. I'm gonna assume that there's a reason that they're telling you to do that. Maybe Joel knows. If you I think we've asked this before, but I don't remember because my car, I put the 87 in there. I just put the cheapest gas possible in there. Ba, 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 ba. Alex says, "Oh, yeah, you like your Yaris. Andrew's car is sexy, but it does take premium, I think. I like your car too." Yeah, I get so on the Prius C, they said that you were supposed to get up to, like, 52 miles a gallon. I don't get anywhere near that. I'm gonna say that on average, I actually get 36 miles a gallon, which is not nearly what they say. I don't know. And at one point, I think if you've ever owned a Prius or known anybody who has, I think that there's like it's almost like a learning curve because it has all these displays about how you're using the hybrid engine and it'll score your start, your stop, and your cruising speeds and all this stuff. And so when I first got the car, I was really into like looking at all those metrics. Official business. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I'm born and raised in California. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and say I love California. I don't love it as much as I used to. I'm not going out a lot. I'm not utilizing the things that are wonderful about California currently. We have some great hiking here. I know people don't talk about our hiking, but we do. So we have some great hikes, but I haven't been hiking in forever. I was just thinking about that. It's been really hot. I'm talking like it was in the 90s the last few days. Um, and we've got the beach right here, but I did not go to the beach. I thought about it. I didn't go. But yeah, I'm from Los Angeles, California. Okay. So the fire area. I mean, they're building again, but we are getting into kind of that time where that's a concern. Definitely, I don't know why it's so much hotter this year. Oof. Yeesh. What else was I gonna say? How about the gas mileage when I first got the Prius, um, Sorry, my coworker's texting. When I first got the Prius, I was looking at all those little gauges, and now I don't. I don't know if that's helping me or hurting me with the drive, but I definitely am not getting all the miles that they said. That would perplex me when people would put premium gas in a car that only requires regular 87. It's kind of a waste of money to do that. If your car asks for premium only, then yes, do only that. So yeah, a lot of the German-made cars want you to put premium gas in, and that's really part of why I did not get that BMW. I was like, I'm not going to be able to afford the gas realistically. Realistically, I couldn't afford the car insurance. The payment was going to be on the high end, and it was going to be for a used car. Be glad you aren't in the northern states. They've been getting tons of snow. Yeah, it's like the weather is crazy though for this time of year, and I don't know what it's from. You guys, and if you're just popping in, I did see Project Hail Mary. It's really enjoyable, and I do recommend it. There was something that I was like, I'm gonna look this up and I'm gonna share this, and I don't remember what it was. So I'm gonna poke around for a second. Maybe what gas? Okay. Our grocery. Let's look at prices compared to a year ago. I like looking at comparisons. Okay, the AI overview. Grocery prices. Am I sharing? Yes, I am. Is it? Am I sharing that page? Yes. Okay. Grocery prices in early 2026 continue to rise, with food at home grocery prices increasing by 2.4% over the year ending February 2026, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. While the rapid inflation of previous years has slowed, prices remain high, with staples like beef, cheese, and bananas seeing notable increases, according to USA Facts. Our groceries more expensive than last year. Grocery store prices have increased 2.1% over last year. Ooh, maybe we can look at this Reddit article. You guys know when I take a sip of coffee to please take a moment and like the video. Grocery price comparison. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Yes. Joel says, I hope we don't get another heat wave in California next week. Ouch. March heat waves are extremely rare. Yeah. Every year I put up an above ground pool, and then every year I take down the above ground pool. And I was like, man, it's time to put this thing back up, but I didn't end up doing it. And now it's going to be back in the 80s. And so I probably won't put it up quite yet. But it is warm. Because it's going to get back in the 70s, it says. And it says we're 9 degrees above the average daily high. And then it says it feels warmer than the actual temperature at 73. Okay. Grocery price comparison from 2019 to 2025 spreadsheet. Some items went up drastically. This is a Reddit article where this user did a spreadsheet. Ooh, and Amazon purchases. Huh, that's interesting. Okay. Hold on. In 2019, they made a spreadsheet for the things we normally buy. I found it on my computer over the weekend, so I thought I would do an updated price list and see the comparison. Some items went up drastically, some stayed basically the same, and a few were actually a little less. Obviously, the eggs were a huge increase. 18 eggs in 2019 were $1.57, and 18 yesterday were $10.99. Okay, this was a year ago, though, when egg prices were super crazy. On the original spreadsheet, I listed item specifics, brand, amount, weight, so the comparison would be for the exact thing. Overall, the total for all the items in 2019 was $273, and in 2025, it was $386.77. That's an increase of $130.30. Federal minimum wage has not increased in that time, so for people making $7.25 an hour, they're making no more pay, but possibly having an increase of $130.30 on a grocery run. This does not include any fresh beef, chicken, or pork, which are more expensive than they were then. I wish I had noted those prices as well, but they fluctuate so much that I didn't bother. And they're in the Southeast in Missouri. Let's see if we can open that spreadsheet. Hmm. What the heck? How do I have 75% of my drive shared? But anyway, I don't think not saving this to the drive. Let's see if I can sort this by percentage change. Can I sort this? No, it's locked. View only. Okay. Trying to change somebody else's spreadsheet. Sugar went up 129%, cornstarch up 104%, salt went down. Sorry, I'm looking at some of the things that went up a lot. Potatoes went up 100%, carrots up 92%, tomatoes up 108%. Peaches, pears not up as much as I would have thought. It's always cool when people share stuff like this. Vinegar is up 155%. And this person is using, Walmart, which I think is cool. I do think that Walmart is generally a good place to get your groceries if you live near one. Bleach went up a lot of the cleaners up a lot, like more than 100%. Foil up 36%. Sorry, I'm not looking at everything. I'm just kind of scrolling through someone else's spreadsheet on what they paid in 2019 versus 2025. You guys, if I was more on it, I could do something like this and then, like, make a video on it, and I think that would be interesting. I don't know. I never know what's interesting anymore. They really say on YouTube, "Make videos that are interesting to you," and this is interesting to me. I don't know what kinda weirdo I am, but, um, yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're gonna go back to sharing this tab. 'Cause I'm real curious. This person said that they did the same thing for Amazon purchases. Go to your order history and then search for the same product on Amazon. I saw things that I bought in 2019 that were 25 to 35% increase. So let's see if this person shared their spreadsheet. No, they did not. Okay. And then, holy cow, you're not kidding. My preferred bars of soap have now got a 3 different smaller, more ergonomic shapes since the pandemic started. We've listened to our customers and are pivoting to a more ergonomic design. Yeah, that's what they're doing. The thing that I can't get over is the price of vinegar. It was always around 60 cents a gallon. Now it's near 5 and hasn't gone down. Vinegar is even weaker than it used to be, which is dangerous if you preserve food. Flour was always 2.50. Yep, I remember that. Now $5. Pasta was always less than a dollar. It's been coming down in price, but still more than it was unless it's on sale. Vinegar is made from wheat, by the way, so I'm not sure what's going on with wheat, but I know the USA exports a lot of its wheat to Asia. Hmm. Okay. Someone else is saying this map's pretty close for me. My budget for food each month, groceries, not eating out, was around 250 about 10 years ago. Before COVID, I had to increase my budget for food to 300, and today it's about 380. I've started to eat steak more often and a nicer cut, but I've pulled that out of the above numbers. Someone else is saying that their numbers are similar, and they're saying that they rarely get out of Walmart for less than $500 a day. Not a day, but like when they go shopping. Okay, let's see here. Alex says the Gwen Stefani song "Holler Back Girl." When I say when I see the price of gas, I sing, "This shit is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S." Yeah. Cindy says, "I try to buy my meat on clearance or on good sale price. Meat is the most expensive item in a meal." Yeah, absolutely. And my mom and I do that too. Like, we shop the sales. A lot of times I don't love ground turkey, but they're always saying that it's healthy, and then a lot of times it's on sale for cheaper. I do like ground turkey tacos. So I could feel like you can kind of hide the flavor in there. Let's see if there's tips for saving on gas. Saving on gas for your car. How about that? Well, this is actually giving tips, 12 tips to save money. Save on gas, focus on driving smoothly. Avoid rapid acceleration and hard braking, maintaining steady speeds using cruise control, and staying within speed limits. Keep tires properly inflated. Yeah. Um, Remove unnecessary heavy items from the car. Use apps like Gas Buddy to find cheaper local fuel. Yeah. That's interesting. Then someone else is saying, drive as little as possible, do all your errands on the trip into town day. Carpool, yeah, like those are all good ideas. Also, let's see. Let's just read this one. See if there's anything we didn't cover. Always paying cash if you can. That's going to be the other one. Alex says you could also just come up with a budget that you know you're going to spend for gas in a week and use cash to pay it because you saved like 10 or 20 cents a gallon that way. Yeah, so always, always, always pay cash for gas. I don't know of any like rewards. I'm really getting into the points and miles game on credit cards. Not game, but like I'm going to Japan at the end of the year and that's paid for entirely all on the flight is paid entirely all on credit card points. One of the hotels I've booked and it's paid for all on credit card points. But yeah, so there's no credit card program that I know of where it would be beneficial to pay with a card versus paying cash because they charge you, yeah, 10 to 20 cents more per gallon if you pay on a card. So it's not a good deal. Anyway, um, let's just see if there's anything else on the list for driving. You could like take turns. What did I read? That like girls are like they're not going out to dinner anymore. They're getting together and like doing their errands, like an errands girls trip instead of like a girls night out, have like an errand morning where you get stuff done, but you do it together. And then you could, take turns doing that monthly and if you've got 4 friends, you could rotate out who drives each week. Okay, so this is from a Reddit thread called Frugal. Drive as little as possible. Do all your errands on trip into town day. Carpool with others. Don't use a gas-powered lawnmower, snowblower, chainsaw, etc. Make sure you put stabilizers in any fuel that you store. This person says, great tip. I work from home 4 days a week and in office once a week. So I try to stack all my errands to take care of when I'm already out. This is the way. The best savings equals not using any. Also saves you money on gym membership if you cycle everywhere, mow your lawn by hand, etc. Driving a minimum is, of course, the best strategy to economize, and it's what I do, and best for the environment. But not everybody lives in a walking, biking friendly area. Some people really need a car for work, family, food shopping, etc. I'm sure the OP is just trying to figure out the best realistic choices available. Don't drive an SUV. Yep. It's not bad advice. This person says T-Mobile Tuesdays, you get 15% off per gallon at Shell. That discount lasts until the end of the day on Friday the same week. So I gas up on Friday to get the most out of it. The Fuel Rewards app actually tracks how much you have saved using it. Oh, I know what else I was going to say. This is sort of silly, but okay. I really like there's a new app that I do called Fetch. See, it's pulling up right now. Like some of the things that I've used in the past, like Ibotta, let's see. It's my code. I'm going to share my code. If you guys go to an app called Fetch, I'm going to second. Fetch, it's going to be 3FUR G9 is my code on an app called Fetch. And that's the little QR code. So you can scan any receipt. So a lot of apps like Ibotta, you have to buy certain items, right? And I think that sometimes while that's good, it can cause you to buy things that you weren't gonna buy anyway, and if you weren't gonna buy it anyway, then it wasn't on sale, okay? It cost you money. So, with Fetch, you can literally scan any receipt. You can scan a gas station receipt. Um, and you get points for it. It's not a lot of points, it's 25 points. Also, I have something linked, so, like, all my Amazon purchases are linked. It just automatically gives me my points, as long as I order off Amazon. And I am on my way towards my 3rd $50 gift card. So and I normally get my gift cards to CVS, and then I'll get stuff like toilet paper, shampoo, paper towels from CVS with the $50 gift card that I got off Fetch. So sometimes it's getting creative about how you're earning points and things, to kind of offset that cost. I heard somebody say that they signed up for a new credit card, that's giving you, like, if you spend, I wanna say, like, $3,000 in the first 3 months, it gives you, like, $250 off, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just putting gas on this card." I don't know if they're spending 3,000, I don't know what they're doing, but they were basically like, "I'm gonna use this to get gas, and so if I'm spending $500 a month or, like, in 3 months on gas, I'm really getting 250 back." I don't know, be careful with credit cards, right? I'm cautious about encouraging other people to get credit cards because I know it can quickly, like, spiral out of control. But if you can use credit cards responsibly and pay them off in their entirety at the end of the billing cycle, a lot of those sign up bonuses, they call them SUBs, can be really good. Make sure it's a no fee card, a no annual fee card. Anyway, um, but or like sometimes you get $300 for changing where you get your checking account, but it's a big old pain in the caboose because you have to stay on top of it, and I don't like moving checking accounts, but sometimes they offer you $300 to move your money to a Chase checking account, and that is free money if you take the time to move it. So that is a way, like, if you're tight on funds, to kind of supplement, or it could be. I'm not necessarily recommending that. That is something that I've been doing to, like, help me pay for travel and things like that. Speaking of help me pay for travel, I have not booked any of the no, that's not true. I booked one of the hotels and I booked it on points. So I have my last 2 days, I know what I'm doing, or I know where I'm gonna be. I think I'm not entirely sure how I want my trip to Japan to be laid out, and I think the reality of it is, and they say this, is that I want to do more things than I'm actually gonna be able to do. One of the things that I wanna do when I go to Japan is I do wanna go to Tokyo Disney Sea, they call it, and I probably also wanna go to Tokyo Disneyland. And I'm actually thinking, because I didn't plan this quite right, but that's okay. You live, you learn, you forget. I had wanted to fly into Japan. Sorry, we talked a little bit about my Japan trip because I'm excited. Oh, I was also supposed to tell you guys a new word that I learned. Kurasao means thank you. Did I say that right? And then, oh shoot, I forgot the other one, which means like cool or amazing. Ah, dang it, I don't remember. Anyway, I need to take Japanese a little bit more, and then I need to plan out how I'm doing my trip. I don't wanna move hotels too much. I'm gonna go to Japan in December, so it'll be a little bit cold. I'm going to Tokyo. I've never been before. There's a route that they call the Golden Route, and, that is Tokyo, then Kyoto, then Osaka. I might have them backwards. You might do Tokyo, then Osaka, then Kyoto. I'm definitely gonna do all of those. Here's the dilemma. There's 2 dilemmas. Dilemma 1 is I wanna go to Nagano. I want to go to Nagano because there's a snow monkey park where these snow monkeys, um, they sit in a hot tub, right? And you just watch them, but they're like out in the open. You can't pet them or anything. They're not pets. Humans are not supposed to interact with them, but people go and they take these gorgeous photos. And it's a nice little hike. And it's like a little bit, I mean, it's super touristy there at the actual Snow Monkey Park, but it's off the beaten path. It's like not everybody puts Nagano on the map. The other thing that I would like to do is go to there's something called Ghibli Park, as in Studio Ghibli, which you guys know I'm like a big kind of like Disney fan. There's a Japanese creator, Miyazaki, like he did Spirited Away. He did like a lot of like the and Kiki's Delivery Service and Howl's Moving Castle and My Neighbor Totoro. I don't think he did Kiki's Delivery Service, but that's part of Studio Ghibli, but Miyazaki I don't think did that one. But anyway, I would like to go to Ghibli Park, but that's not necessarily a day trip. So, and this is a lot of moving hotels, right? So, I know my last 2 nights I'm gonna be in Tokyo. I know that for sure. I'm flying into Tokyo and I'm flying out of Tokyo. So, my last 2 nights I'm gonna be in Tokyo. If I go to Disneyland and Disney Sea, that's in Tokyo, but it's like a different part of Tokyo. So, it would be like I live in Los Angeles, and for me to get to Disneyland, it's in Anaheim. It's about 40 miles, so it could take like an hour and a half depending on traffic. So it's similar in Tokyo. There's Tokyo where there's like the stuff you do, and there's not really much else in Anaheim to do. Nobody like really, I mean, it's a city, there's restaurants, there's people, there's always going to be something to do, but people go to Anaheim for Disneyland or they go to Anaheim for Angel Stadium. They do not go to Anaheim for other reasons. Sorry, Anaheim. Um, so there's not a lot to do in Anaheim here in California besides go to Disneyland or Angel Stadium. I've been to Angel Stadium once. I had the best nachos of my entire life, and I've been to Disneyland numerous times. I don't think I've ever done anything else in Anaheim, and I've lived in California my whole life. So it's my understanding that Tokyo and Tokyo Disneyland are the same. For a whole bunch of reasons that I don't want to get into in like the little bit of time that we have left, they recommend staying at probably one of the Tokyo Disneyland hotels. So I would like to do that, but the max number of nights that you can get, at least of these vacation packages, is 2 nights. And I just realized my original plan was to fly into Tokyo and like see the sights on like day 1, 2, and 3, and then move hotels and go to like the equivalent, the Anaheim, the Disneyland area of Tokyo, which is still just Tokyo. But anyway, it's like a different spot in Tokyo. But I just realized that I'm flying into town on Wednesday. And if I do that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's going to put me at Disneyland on Saturday and Sunday. And just like in California, they don't really recommend, like, it's going to be more crowded because people have the weekends off. So I don't want to do that, I don't think. So now, what I think, and I'd be moving hotels, but now I think I'm going to do it the opposite way. And this might help me get more comfortable in a new country because, like, at least Disneyland is kind of familiar to me. So now I'm thinking I'm going to fly in on Wednesday, check into one of the Disneyland hotels on Wednesday, go to Disneyland on Thursday, stay in the Disneyland hotel Thursday night, and go to Disneyland Friday. Are Thursday, Friday going to be better than a Saturday, Sunday? I think so, but I don't know for sure. But that's the current plan, I think. And then, so go to Disneyland first, see something that I'm kind of familiar with. Like, I don't have to, like, if I just get off the plane and take the train to Disneyland, to the Disneyland hotel, then I don't really have to figure out the train system for a few days, and I can kinda get used to, like, the Japanese and American signage at the theme park and in the hotel. before I'm trying to, like, explore the city, because, like, if I'm going to Disneyland and the hotel, I'll just be, like, eating on site. I won't be sightseeing. I won't be trying to hit up, like, multiple places. So I'm thinking do Disneyland and Disney Sea first. And then from there, spending another couple days in Tokyo, just kind of exploring, 2 to 3 more days exploring. Then from there, going to Nagano. Then from there, going to Osaka. From there, going to Kyoto. And then back to Tokyo. But that's already 5 hotels. And then here's the problem, the Ghibli Park. Ghibli Park is not actually a day trip away from any of these places. So that would be a different hotel. And where do I cut one of my nights from if I do that? And then we'd be looking at hotel number 1 for 2 nights, Disneyland Tokyo, switching hotels another time and lugging my December warm clothes along with me to hotel number 2 in Tokyo, then staying 1 or 2 nights in Nagano, so that's hotel number 3, then staying 1 or 2 nights in Osaka, then 1 or 2 nights in Kyoto, and then back to Tokyo. So that's already 6 different hotels, which I have not booked yet. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold down my thumb. Is this better? This is a better 6. So that's 6 different hotels. Tokyo Disney, then Tokyo, then Nagano, then Osaka, then Kyoto, then back to Tokyo. Would it be in like that's already crazy, right? That's like a crazy amount of hotels. And now I'm thinking about doing another one, which is near Studio Ghibli Park. Also, oh no, I don't have it in here. Next time I'm gonna go through because we have to talk about Tokyo every time. I gotta figure out what word I learned. Otherwise, we gotta Mizu is water, Gohan is rice, Mizu, Gohan, Ocha is green tea, but I don't like green tea, so I don't really. That's probably why I didn't hang on to that word. Then, Kudasa is please. Kudasa. Then, what is the word? I definitely sent it to my friend. Oh, kakoi, which means cool. Kakoi. It also means good looking. Kakoi. And hi. So kakoi means cool, but it also means good looking. And then hi means yes. So hi, yes, yes, and kakoi. Okay. But anyway, 7 hotels, that's too many, right? And I'm staying, I think, 14 nights. I leave on the 1st, I stay on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 13 nights. So that would mean moving hotels every 2 days, basically. Is that too much? People do it. I had a friend send me their itinerary, and I think they were there 9 nights, and they did their first thing to Tokyo, then they did Kyoto, then they did Osaka, then they did, another they moved hotels about every other day. That seems too much, and then I get overwhelmed, and I'm like, "Maybe I just wanna stay in Tokyo the whole time." Maybe I wanna do I don't know. I I really don't know. Because when am I going back to Tokyo? That's the other thing. That's why I am one of these people, I am a pain in the you know what to travel with, because I wanna go, go, go because I wanna cram everything in. Also, for me, this is so embarrassing, but I think I personally need to fill in a buffer to allow for the possibility that I'm gonna get confused on the trains. Like, I'm worried I'm not gonna make it to my destination because 'cause I'm gonna be like, where am I?" I am an adult who is capable of figuring out the train system in Japan. All right, I think I'm gonna end with that. So I'm going in December, so I'm gonna have to lug a bunch of warm stuff around with me. And if I go to see the snow monkeys, I keep saying if, but that's the thing that I've researched the most. I think that's probably the thing that I'm the most excited to do is see those snow monkeys. So I have to do that. I can't let myself down. I gotta step outside of my comfort zone and I gotta do that. I was even looking up like why people use a long lens to like photograph nature because like maybe no, I don't if I don't use my camera now, I'll just use my iPhone, right? Okay. All right. Cindy's saying heading out. So I think that's my cue to go as well. Thank you guys so much for joining Shelly's Millions. Kudasao. I'll see you next time. Hi.